All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Red Pill Investor, as well as Sell More Homes Now here on YouTube. Caution, this episode is going to be painful, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I say painful because it's going to hit some of the very hardest points that we as realtors and investors do not want to talk about. So trust me, if you're going to listen to this podcast, if you're going to watch me as I prospect, understand that I'm going to share some ideas and thoughts with you that are a little troublesome. And I'm going to share with you my life and how these things have affected my life. And it's not always going to be pretty, but you'll get the truth and you'll hear exactly where I'm coming from and how these three things can help you in your business. So today I've got Vortex set up with the Red X, as you know. That's the auto dialing system that I use. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start off. I typically call expireds, canceleds, and things of that nature, as you know. But today, what we're going to do is something a little bit different. I thought what we would do, I just closed on a property over here at 2639 East Warwick Vista here in Tucson. If you're incidentally, I do have realtors and investors from the Tucson area who listen to this podcast or watch me on YouTube. So shout outs to you. I appreciate you very much. And as you may or may not know, I certainly, not only do I do wholesaling, but I also manage to go ahead and handle some rehabs as well. So if you have a rehab property that you want to try and just go ahead and sell over to me and you don't want to deal with it, then certainly give me a call or email me, because I certainly have contacts here in Tucson and we can make that happen as well for you, generally, provided the property is not too bad a shape. So in any event, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and call around a property that I recently closed. And the reason why is just like a just listed, just sold call. Many times, if you find somebody is in a neighborhood wanting to sell, then they're willing, there's other people, usually one or two people within the group of 100 or so around the property that are going to want to sell within the next 6 months. So what you want to do as soon as you buy or sell or list a property or, sell one of your listings, you want to call around the neighborhood in there, because more often than not, what you'll discover is people who want to sell as well. So today, we're going to do that exact same thing. The only difference is, obviously, I typically start out calling expireds. Not too many expireds that were new today. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go ahead and start off today by calling around some of these ones that properties that I just sold. Or it'll be typical to a just sold call, but it'll be around a property that I just purchased. And then you'll see how that approach is a little bit different as an investor, investing agent perhaps, than you might take this as a realtor trying to get a listing. So you'll be able to compare this against, let's say, a just sold call. If you're a realtor, then you'll be able to compare this just sold call, let's say, to the call that I'm about to do now. That way you'll be able to kind of see how that might be affected for you. And then, of course, along the way, we're going to talk about the three things you need to have in order to be successful. Whew. That being said, let's get started. Let's take this to the Lord in prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our families. Thank you for all the things that you've given us that we never take the time to say thank you for. Lord, we're gracious and we're grateful for you. Lord, we're grateful that you've given us this opportunity once again to reach out to the public, to engage in this great game. Lord, this game of helping people and being able to overcome their objections. Lord, help us to approach this with a clean heart. Create in us a clean heart, oh God, and that way we might help those in your name. Amen. All right, let's go ahead. We got the phone set up. Let's press dial. Boom. All right, so the phone is now.
Please leave your message for 520. Please leave your message for.
Boy, a couple message machines right off the bat. Okay. So the phone is now dialing. So let's talk about, without any further delay, let's talk about the 3 things that you need really in order to be successful. So in no particular order, okay? Let's see. I don't want to call that fellow. I want to skip that one. There you go. And resume. Perfect. There we go. In order for you to be successful, right? There are 3 things that you need to do, or really need to have, right? And many times, if you're a realtor, an investor, an entrepreneur of any kind, we tend to think that these 3 things are something that you can purchase. Maybe it's something you're born with. Maybe it's, grace or panache or skills or good teeth. I don't know, right? But the 3 things that you really need to have, if you take a cross section of all of the successful people in life, I mean the uber successful, the ones that you look up to. When I look at my life, right, I realize as I look backwards, all of the areas where I've failed, where I've not kept, maybe as much belief in myself as I should have, right? Hello? Hello, Ruth? Hello? Okay. So when I look back over my life and I think about the areas that I've failed, and then I compare this and contrast this with the people in my life that I look up to as people that
Hello?
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Good.
The reason why I'm calling, is this Kelly Rudolph or David Rudolph?
No.
Oh
those
my
are
god.
friends,
Oh, okay, cool. All right, no problem. Well, listen, again, my name is Carl. I was calling about that property over there at 2707 East Warwick Vista. Have I at least got the right place?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry?
Yeah, okay, cool. Are they do they happen to be around?
No, I'm their friend, but I don't live in Tucson. And I don't really feel comfortable giving you their
Oh, no,
contact
that's
info.
cool.
I know
No,
what you're saying.
that's cool. I've got a couple numbers for them. It's no big deal. I don't need you for
Okay.
their number. That's cool. Actually, I was just calling. I was calling to see if perhaps I bought the property a couple doors down from them at 2639 Warwick Vista. I bought that house down the street, and I was actually just calling to see maybe if they'd even considered selling this property at all. Do you know if they've even considered selling this one at all?
I have no idea. You'll have to ask them.
No worries, brother. Well, listen, you have a great day, okay?
Thanks, man. You
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
All right. So when I look at the people that I deem, that I think about that are successful in life or have been successful in life throughout history, they have been able to successfully control these 3 things. And it seems to me like if we can control these 3 things in our life, if we can do these 3 things, then we will be able to experience similar results. The first thing I think that is accurate if you want to be successful. And remember, I told you in the beginning of this podcast that this is going to be painful. I'm going to say some things that are going to hurt you. And if this doesn't hurt you.
Hello?
Oh, hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
I'm fine, and who are you?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Carl Krenzel. I just bought the property down the street from you at 2639 Warwick Vista. Is this Mrs. Hale?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Do you still own that home at 2702 Warwick Vista?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, no problem. Well, the only reason why I asked is, like I said, I just bought the property down the street from you, and I was calling to see if you'd even considered selling your home. Have you?
No.
I don't blame you. That's a great little neighborhood in there. Since I've got you here anyway, do you know anybody else who might be open to an all-cash offer on an unwanted home?
No, I don't. Not right now.
No problem. And have you considered selling your property at all?
No.
All right, great. Well, listen, you have a great day. We're going to get that property cleaned up, and it's going to be really pretty very soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you. All right. Oh, I'll be there in just a second. I'll be hanging up just a second. Don't worry. There we go. Boom. Okay. Now remember, I told you in the beginning of this podcast and the beginning of this video that I'm going to say some things that are going to be painful. And if this point doesn't hurt your feelings, don't worry. I got two more. So let's just get it out of the way. The hard thing you need to control first. If you want to be successful, you have to control your weight. And I can already tell if I go back and I look at the Google and analytics, or if I go back and I look at the podcast, Podbean analytics, I'll probably be able to tell in the podcast or the YouTube video that the amount of people's interest in watching this or listening to this is going to dramatically drop after that point right there. I mean, like a kamikaze into a carrier in World War II. It's just right. But it's true. Okay, if you want to be successful, you have to control your weight. That's just the bottom line. Now, I'm not trying to say anything critical. The Bible said, "Judge not lest ye be judged." Take the speck out of your eye before you can take the plank out of your eye before you can take the speck out of your neighbor's eye, your brother's eye. I was overweight myself. I was about 260 pounds, 6'4". I mean, for me, I was a little bit overweight. I had a pretty good size to me. All right. If you look at pictures from me back then, you can see the puffiness in my face. I lost about 35 pounds. Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Quite wonderful. How are you, Carl?
I am better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I've got the right person, so I owe you an apology. I was looking for the Lopez Presson residence over there on Warwick Vista. Have I got the right place?
No, sir.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so at 2615 East Warwick Vista, do you know anything about that property at all?
No. Why are you?
Yeah, no problem. The only reason why I'm asking is I bought that house just a couple doors down from them, and I'm a new neighbor, and I wanted to give them a call. Okay, do you know anything about Stephanie Lopez Presson? Do you know anything about her? Or am I just got completely a wrong number?
I don't know who you're talking about, man.
Gosh, okay, I'm sorry, brother. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day, and I apologize for the wrong number, okay?
Yep.
Take care. All right. All right, good deal. So you have to control your weight. You have to control your weight. You have to control your weight. I lost 30 pounds.
Hello.
And it was not easy. Anybody who's tried to lose weight, I feel for you. It is a struggle. It's hard. And if you're in a situation
number that does not accept solicitation.
If you're in a situation where you are struggling with this, I feel for you. Trust me, I understand.
You have reached the voicemail box of.
I understand that you have a lot to deal with. Even if you're 5 pounds overweight, like me, or 50 pounds overweight, or whatever amount of weight you're overweight. If you want to be successful in life, you have to control your weight. I'm not saying you have to be six-pack abs and guns out to here, and no, but you have to control your intake of food, your exercise, and your body weight, right? So when you control these things, it's your weight is under control. It doesn't mean you're going to be out there in a bikini. It doesn't mean you're going to be out there in a bodybuilding championship. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that for you to begin to be successful in life at whatever stage you're in, whether you're a young man like I was at 26 starting out, or if you're a old grizzled veteran at 55, right? Controlling your weight means that you right from the beginning control things, right? Control things. You have discipline. For example, if a
This is for me?
oh, hi, my name's Carl Krenzel. I might actually have the wrong number. Did you say that I was looking for the Craney residence? Is this the Craneys?
I'm sorry. Can you say it again? I can't hear you.
No problem. I said I was looking for the Craneys over there on Keswick Circle. Have I got the right place?
No, you have the wrong number.
Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. Okay. Do you know anything about Letitia or Timothy Craney or the property at 2707 East Keswick? Do you know anything about that?
You're calling the wrong number. How
Okay.
would I know that?
Well, because the only reason why I would ask is like you had a friend, it was theirs, and you were renting it or something like that. Okay, no problem. Well, I got the wrong number. Well, you have a great day, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. If you had a friend who the very first thing they did when they woke up was drink alcohol, and then all throughout the day, they couldn't control themselves. They can still
Unavailable to take your call.
they could still function, but they would drink all the time. And they drank so much that it was causing cirrhosis of the liver and other physical ailments.
Hello?
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Good.
I'm not sure if I have the right place. I was actually looking for the Fords. They own some property over there on Winchester Vista. Have I got the correct address?
No.
Oh my
That's the wrong
gosh.
number.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. All right.
That's
Well, listen, since I got you anyway, do you know anything about them or that property, or have I just like completely off base?
No, I have no idea who they are.
Okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
so
Have a good
sorry.
day.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. Boom. You'd say that that person was an alcoholic, and rightfully so, because it's causing damage to their body. It's causing problems in their life. And it's not that the alcohol is leaping from the bottle into the shot glass and into your mouth.
Hello?
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Well,
I was calling about a property. Are you the owner over there on Warwick Vista, 2607 Warwick
yeah,
Vista?
I wouldn't be, Carl, I wouldn't be interested in selling it.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
so
okay. That's
much.
not why I was calling. I actually bought the house a couple doors down from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm your new one of your new neighbors. Actually, I just wanted to reach out.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I wanted to reach.
Okay.
I wanted to reach out to you and just to say that we're going to have some folks down the way fixing it up, and it's going to be looking a little bit better. It's at 2639 Warwick Vista. If you're just taking a walk
Okay.
or whatever, but so if you see some folks out there working on it and fixing it up, you'll know what that's all about. It'll be clean and pretty before you know it. And I just wanted to reach out and say that's what that was about.
Oh, that is awesome for you to call.
Well, thank
You
you.
know?
I appreciate that.
I look forward to meeting you.
Well, wonderful. Hey, by the way, Lucia, since I've got you, it's Lucia, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, Lucia,
Yes,
thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you. Again, my name is Carl Krenzel. By the way, do you happen to know of anybody else in this neighborhood that needs to sell their property quickly for cash, or anybody maybe we need to talk to?
No one that I know of, Carl.
Okay, no problem. Well, I appreciate your time, and you are just a wonderful lady to talk to, okay?
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm at work, so
yes, ma'am.
I must go.
Yes, ma'am. You be
But I look
blessed.
forward to meeting you.
All right. Well, you be blessed.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You too now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay.
Hey, kiddo. Good.
There we go. Boom. Okay. If you can't control your hand to a shot glass, you can't control the shot glass to your finger, then you have, it's not so much the alcohol, it's not so much a predisposition to alcoholism or genetic disorders. What the fundamental issue is you have a real big problem with discipline. And it's the same thing with your food.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you? That was a little too salesy on that one. It's the same thing with food, right? You have choices about the food you can eat. Okay, you can say, "Oh gosh, Carl, I have a liver, I have this glandular disorder, or I have this disorder, I have that disorder, I have, big bones, slow metabolism, whatever your thing is." I get it. Okay, trust me, I said those things too. However, that doesn't mean you can't choose to eat foods that are healthier for you. For example,
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I was actually looking for the Morenos. Is this Mr. Moreno?
No, I'm very sorry. You got the wrong number.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I was actually looking for the owners of a home at 2641 East Keswick. Is that your property?
Oh no way.
Oh gosh. I guess I'm way off. Do you know anything about those people or that house?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, not really.
All right, no problem. Well, you have a great day and stay out of this
You
heat
too.
today, okay?
Catch you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right? Okay. For example, I love fried chicken. Fried chicken, I could eat fried chicken every day of the week and twice on Sunday, especially if you give me hot sauce. Take me over there with Popeye's chicken and that special whatever they got that you dump on. Oh my gosh. Whoo. I'm in heaven. But I know, okay, after I lost that 35 pounds, it turns out, I didn't know this, but it turns out that when you lose weight rapidly and then you pick up weight and then you lose weight rapidly, because that's what I was kind of doing. And I'd lost like 35 pounds, something like that. It turns out that you get gallstones very easily, especially if you eat a lot of fatty foods like I was doing, like fried fish, fried chicken, stuff like that. I was living in the South. I was living in South Carolina, and bless God, that's what you were, we were eating, and man, it was good eating, right? But it's painful on your body and it takes a toll. And after I lost my gallbladder, right, eating fried foods is not that much fun anymore. It's far more painful for me. I mean, when I eat fried foods, my stomach just, I just can't do it. It's hard. I guess the reason why I brought this whole fried chicken thing up,
have reached the voicemail box of,
along with gallbladders and whatnot, is if you're trying to lose weight, I understand if you're compelled to eat and you have a penchant for fried foods or whatever. However, there's nothing saying if you've got a glandular problem or whatever. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi, this is Carl Krenzel. I was looking for Alicia. Is this Alicia?
No, you have the wrong number.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I was looking for the people who own that property over there on 2713 East Keswick Circle. Is that your property?
I sold that about 6 years ago.
Oh, okay. I'm so
You
sorry.
were the former owners.
Oh,
So,
gosh. Okay, well,
we sold it a while back.
Oh, well, congratulations then. Okay, well, listen, you have a great day, okay? Thank you.
You too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see. We're going to mark that person as wrong number. Delete them, but count them. Resume. Okay. So the reason why I brought this up is that there's nothing in your glandular problem or your bones or metabolism or anything like that that says you can't eat bananas or salad or drink iced tea and not soda. It's all about the fundamental choices that you make from the very beginning of your day. And that's why it's so important. It's not so much, that the aesthetics or any of that issue. No. Don't misunderstand. I'm not talking about aesthetics when we're talking about weight and being successful. No. What I'm talking about is energy, discipline, and commitment. If you can develop the habit of being committed to eat properly, to eat the things that are going to cause your body to be fed. Hi, Cora?
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is this Cora?
No, man.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. I got the wrong number then. Yeah. Oh, I might have the wrong. This is Carl Krenzel. I was looking for either Cora or Melissa. They own some property over there on Bristol. Have I got the right place?
No, you don't.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Do you happen to know anything about that property at 16? She hung up on me. All right. Okay. So it begins with the decisions you make about eating first thing in the morning and what you choose to put in your body over the rest of the day. Now, again, how does controlling your weight have to do, or what does it have to do with being successful in real estate? Okay. If, let's say, you're unhealthy, if you're overweight and you're having difficulty with your schedule, because if you're overweight, it's difficult for you to maintain a rigorous schedule. Okay. If you're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, it is extremely difficult for you to work an 8, 10, 12, 15-hour day sometimes, which is sometimes what is required when you're beginning in your business.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 520.
Don't misunderstand me. Okay, nobody ever, except for maybe those good folks that were happen to luck out on maybe a web page or Bitcoin or something, I don't know, but the vast majority, overwhelming majority of people who were successful in life, regardless of what they did, real estate or entrepreneurship.
Hello?
Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. Is this James?
No, this is not James.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Listen, I was calling about the property over there at 2719 Keswick. Do you know anything about that property? I just bought a house down the street. Do you know anything about them?
I live there.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I live there.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, listen, my name is Carl Krenzel. I'm one of your new neighbors. I just bought the house actually at 2639 Warwick Vista. It's just the street over. I was calling to see if perhaps you folks had considered selling your property at all. Have you?
I'd have to talk to my brother about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Is your brother James?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask how you got my number though?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I subscribe to a service, and this service cross-references the United States Postal Service along with a bunch of other internet sources. And essentially what they do is they spit out your number and anybody who's associated with that property's number. So for example, if you were like his brother living in the house, it would pick up your number because your number is associated with the house. And it might pick you up simply because you're his brother sometimes. So it's that accurate. So yeah, it's super accurate system that I use. Well, listen, I would certainly be if James is interested in selling that place, I would certainly be interested in talking to him because I just literally closed on that property at the end of this. Well, I should say the first of the month, over there on Warwick Vista.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll give him your number.
Okay, cool.
Your name was Carl, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got your caller ID right there with my number on it, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have a name or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just my number. Yeah, that's my cell phone right there. If you want, just take a screenshot. My name's Carl, and if you'd like to give me a call, I'd be happy to talk to him.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I see him.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you, brother. And by the way, stay out of this heat today. Stay out of the heat today. It's going to be hot.
Oh yeah, I know.
Have a great day.
Right on, man.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, there we go. You know, that's not uncommon. People will say that many times. You know, how did you get my number? There's a couple different ways you could handle that. You could handle it with humor. I like to say sometimes, you know, I like to quote that line that Liam Neeson used in what was it, Taken? He said, "I have a very particular set of skills." Right? That's one of my favorite lines. You know, they're like, say, "Well, how did you get my number?" Well, over 23 years, I've developed a very particular set of skills. You know, put a little humor in that. The other thing sometimes I'll say is just like what you heard me say. Well, you know, I subscribe to a service that is hyper accurate, and they, you know, cross-reference databases on the internet. And quite honestly, that's the truth. Now, I don't tell them who they are because who is irrelevant. The fact is that I am using a service that has a hyper accurate list of people that you can find. And you can see right there, I mean, boom, we found him super fast. Or former owners from 6 years ago. Wow. Okay. But anyway, controlling your weight, right? So if you're trying to pull a brand new business,
Fine, not to currently not available right now. You know, message, and I'll get back to you. And you can call.
If you're a entrepreneur starting out a brand new business, okay, don't fool yourself into thinking that you're going to sit here and just work an 8-hour day and make it. Okay, if you're a rapper and you're dropping albums and whatnot, what makes you think you're going to be the next Tupac or Biggie if you're out there in the streets all hours of the day and night and you're not in the recording studio? That's nonsense. What would make you think if you're a realtor or an investor that you're going to get any better, okay, if you're not taking it seriously? If you're not working 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, which is what it takes, okay, for days on end, if you're not going to be able to,
Please leave your message for 5.
if you're not going to be able to do that, okay, because you're not physically capable of doing it. Hello?
Por favor, deje su mensaje para.
Then you can see automatically how by a failure to control your weight can work against you. Okay, this is not a slam against you for being overweight. This is not a slam against you for any of this. This is a call to you to be something greater than what you thought you were capable of being. Look, I love you the way you are. Okay, I get it. But I'm saying you could be so much more, so much.
Please leave your message for 5.
So much greater. Okay, if you would take just a little bit, I mean, I'm not saying you go out to the gym and work 6 hours, 6 hours a day. No, if you just took a little bit of time every day to start to work on your work on your weight. If you just took a walk.
The number
if you got up half an hour early, put your shoes right next to your bed. If you got a dog, get the leash, whatever it is, and go hit outside. Go walk. Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Fine.
I'm actually looking for.
How can I help you?
Yeah, no problem. I'm looking for Samantha Russell. She owns a property over there on Crosby Vista. Is that you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. Well, listen, my name's Carl Krenzel again. I just bought the home down the street from you, actually, at 2639 Warwick Vista. And I just wanted to introduce myself, let you know that we bought it. We're going to be fixing it up a little bit, getting it kind of repaired so it looks nice. And I just wanted to reach out to you to see if perhaps you had thought about selling your property at all. Have you?
No, not recently.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little area there. It's super convenient to everything. I get it. I'm curious, do you know of anybody else in the neighborhood or maybe here in Tucson who has an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No.
No problem. No problem. And I'm wondering, at what price do you suppose you would become a seller at your property in Crosby Vista?
I don't know. It's from my husband's family.
Oh,
So,
I understand. I understand 100%. Well, listen, I appreciate your time and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay?
all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Boom. So, how do you feel that you're going to take the 8, 10, 12, 15-hour days, day after day after day after day, for months on end, if you're overweight? It just takes a toll on your body. You're exhausted. I mean, at the end of 30 days of working every day, 12 hours a day, except, maybe on the weekend or every other weekend or something you take off, maybe you're holding open houses, I don't know. You're going to be exhausted. Hello?
Please leave your message for 5.
I always try to explain real estate to new agents and new investors. Hello?
Hi, you've reached Annette Martin. Please leave me.
You have to understand that this is a lot like a marathon. This is not a sprint. A lot of people get into this business thinking that this is a sprint, that we're just going to throw a couple thousand into mailings and boom, we're going to do this. And we're going to get all these leads coming in. And the next thing you know, people are calling, but they don't know what to do with it. And, they're overwhelmed and they're out of shape and they can't keep up. And the next thing you know, it's all for naught. If you thought of this like a marathon, you'd train for it like a marathon, right? I mean, think about the Olympic basketball team. I mean, when I was younger, I wasn't a kid, but when I was younger, I remember the dream team. And everybody loved the dream team because it was America's best when it came to basketball. I remember Michael Jordan and all the greats. And the thing is that they were playing against teams that were from across the world. It's not as though they hadn't trained any harder. It's not as though they hadn't, run as many miles or anything like that. It's just the professionals from America. This is what they lived for their entire life. That's what they got paid for. Hi, this is Carl. Is this Sherry?
I'm sorry?
Oh, I might have the wrong number. My name is Carl. I was looking for Sherry. Is this Sherry?
Yeah, but
Oh, hi, Sherry.
no, you have the wrong number.
Oh gosh. Okay, I might have. Yeah, I'm the new owner of a property at 2639 Warwick Vista. Do you happen to know anything about a property at 2654 East Keswick Circle?
You've got the wrong number.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. You have a great day. Okay. Okay. So 10, 12, 15 hours a day, months on end, maybe years on end, in order to, depending on the size of business you want to grow. If you can't control your weight, it's hard to keep up. You're kind of like going up against the dream team, right? I mean, in your marketplace, you got the Michael Jordans, the Kobe's, the all that in your marketplace. And trust me, those are the guys who take this professionally. They practice every day. They go out and they work out. You know, they do the things that they need to do so they can go ahead and make the money that they need to make. And sometimes, okay, running around a track, running miles,
You have reached the voicemail box of
putting in time on the pavement,
5202.
you know, putting in the pavement work. You don't learn how to throw a free throw or a 3-point jump shot by running miles on the track. No, you run miles on the track so you'll have stamina so you can keep up in the 26th minute or whatever that you're playing. It's not easy.
Sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
It's not easy to play at a high level if you're not prepared, if you're not if your endurance is not there, if your stamina is not there. It is hard for you to play in the final minutes of the game when it counts.
Hello, you've reached 248-227-2883.
So what are the final moments of your game in the real estate game? What's the final moment? Well, the final moments, that's that final presentation of the day. You got 3-4 presentations in a day. You're on your 12th hour. It's 7:00 at night. You've been going since 5 a.m. You're tired. And it's a $800,000 listing appointment at 7:00
Hello, you've reached the landline number for the Chutes residence.
That's the wrong number.
248-476-6150.
That's completely the wrong number there.
Please leave a message here, or you're free to contact one of us using cell phone number. Thank you.
There we go. One thing at a time here. So your final hour, okay, 7:00 at night, $800,000 listing appointment, or it's a wholesale deal that you're gonna, close, you're gonna close $50,000-$60,000 on. I just read an article today, not an article, a Facebook post from somebody, doing a deal of $75,000. Kudos to you. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi there. This is Carl. How are you?
All right.
I'm not sure if I've got the right person. I was looking for Carmen Romero, or at least the owners of that property over there on 2712 Keswick. Have I got the right address?
Well, you do have the right address, and we are the owners of it.
That's okay. Good. I noticed it was in a trust, so no worries. Well, the reason why I'm calling, my name is Carl Krenzel. I just purchased the property across, I guess it's 2 streets down from you at 2639 Warwick Vista. And I just wanted to, just obviously call the neighbors, let them know that I'd bought the property, and we're going to be having some folks out there to fix it up so it'll be looking good and bring some value to the neighborhood. But I was just reaching out through the neighbors to see if perhaps anybody else had an unwanted property that they were looking to sell. Do you happen to have an unwanted property you considered selling, sir?
We're working with the renter right now. He's been there a long time. We're seeing if he can qualify to buy it and simplify the process. So we're over the next couple months we'll be seeing if he can qualify. It's iffy, but we want to give him first chance on it before we put it up for sale.
I understand. Okay. Yeah, about how long? About how long do you?
Well, it sounds like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Let me take the earphones out and okay, maybe I can.
There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah. So about how much time do you suppose?
You acquire properties and you're renting them out, and
yes, sir. I'm a broker here in town who buys properties, and I had been working with that fella for probably 3-4 months. Basically, what had happened is his father had passed away, and he wanted something newer. He'd moved in there to help his dad out, and he's being a good son, and his dad had passed away, and he was ready to move on, and didn't want to go through the hassle of listing it and all that stuff. So yeah, okay. Well, no worries.
What I could use from you,
okay,
is you obviously must work with appraisers.
Oh yeah.
Could you text me because we're going to go searching for appraisers in the next couple of weeks, just to have an idea what we would sell it to our renter for if he can qualify or on the market. So I guess appraisers, ever since the crash, they try to be fairly independent, and there's no real, like, you don't work with them closely to get what you want out of it. So are there appraisers that you like the thoroughness or the fairness of the appraisals they have given you?
Well, to be honest with you, for your particular circumstance, I don't know that you really need an appraisal. Here's what I mean. So an appraisal, if let's say you're just really trying to figure out, look, what's a fair price to sell the property to this fellow at, then an appraisal can come in, and appraiser can come in, obviously, and give you a value of what they feel the home's current value is as of that day. It won't be really of any value, because obviously if your renter ends up getting a loan, then they're going to have to get another appraisal anyway. And so,
so the bank is going to want to.
The bank's going to want to draw their own, and the reason why is because they're going to want to make sure that, even though you might have had your independent appraiser, they're going to say, well, gosh, how do we know that, I don't know, that there's not a leak in the ceiling or that the furnace broke or whatever? Let's send our own appraiser in, make sure it's all good before we loan the money. And that's usually the way that works. What I may suggest, what might actually be a better, not to mention the fact that an appraiser is going to cost you about $400 when you order it. So, and it'll take about two weeks to get. What I could do, if you'd like, however, is I could go ahead. The appraiser gets their data from the multiple listing service, just as I do. I'm a broker here in town, a real estate broker. Real estate agents and brokers have access to the multiple listing service if they're realtors. And I could certainly go ahead and do what's called a comparative market analysis on your property. Essentially, the purpose of the comparative market analysis is to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a potential buyer. Right. So what it does is it compares the features and benefits of your home against the features and benefits of other homes that have sold recently or are currently on the market. Does that make sense?
Yes, and then depending on the actual condition of the property, when the bank does their appraisal, it might be worth the same or less.
Yeah. So essentially, what would happen?
Or maybe a little more if you could point out features.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm just kind of noticing from your property as I'm looking at it here, it seems that it's a 2,039 square foot place with two bathrooms. Is that correct?
It's yes, 2 bathrooms. So there's a shower tub. It's my wife's mom's house. But,
okay.
So the other one there's one bathroom that's, I guess you'd say, full, and one that's
1 3/4.
Got a shower, no tub.
Right. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it right on Zillow. And by the way, that is a beautiful home. It looks like you got that white gate, the little white gate with the wrought iron or whatever, I guess, out there in the front. Is that your property?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
Wrought iron gate around the whole thing, and the renters did a nice job of maintaining it. Okay. So we haven't had to do much with it. Does it
have air conditioning?
We didn't want to sell at the low point of, she died in 2011 when properties are pretty depressed, and so we've hung on to it. But now it's time to make a decision if the guy's going to buy it or we're going to sell it.
I understand.
And distribute money to the heirs. So yeah, if you could.
Yeah. Well, why don't I do that?
Let me give you a fair assessment, and then I'd like you to text it or send it.
Yeah, I can. What I can do is I can go ahead and email it to you. Would emailing it to you help?
Yeah, let's send it to. I guess we'll send it to my wife's email since she's the executor of the estate.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me get my. Okay, go ahead and lay it on me here, and I will write it down, and then we'll get the value together for you. Where would you like me to send that to? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go in and get this handled up for you. But essentially, let me just save that here, make sure that I don't lose it. Perfect. Okay, got it. So what I'll do, I'm a broker with Sotheby's International Realty, and we've got a lot of good tools, really bank grade automated valuation tools that they use that are very similar to an appraisal. And I'll go ahead and I'll put that report together for you, and then I'll email it out to you, your wife, and you should get that. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, you should get that by Friday. Is that okay?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
I would tell you, if you're wondering the age of stuff, there's an AC unit that we replaced. So it was new in probably like 2013.
Okay.
So, if that comes in, that's a fairly big expense item.
Well, yeah, no, that is a good thing to know. Yeah, absolutely, because that's certainly a
incoming
value.
water line was replaced. It was all sorts of rusted, and so all the incoming water lines were replaced. So,
Okay.
but I don't know if that goes into an appraisal. Those are the big expense items we've had for the house.
Well, it's a good thing in the sense that it is one of those things that needed to be done in order for the property to be functional. However, those are the two things that everybody looks at first when they're looking at homes in that area or that age, particularly that water line, because the water and the gas lines many times, because of their age, they've come corrupted or have holes in them or whatnot. So yeah, it's a good thing that you had it done. Well, that's no problem. I'll go ahead and I'll get that done for you, and then I'll have that out to you by Friday.
All right.
All right. Well, listen, I
Your
appreciate.
name was?
Yes, sir. My name is Carl Krenzel, and I'm sorry I never did get your name.
My name is Randy.
Randy.
Lyle.
All right, Randy. Well, I appreciate your time, and then I will look forward to talking to you soon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just one last question.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. How did my name show up on anything? How did you get known to? What site does that show up on?
Yeah, no problem. So I've done this for 23 years, and over 23 years of doing this, I've developed a very special set of skills trying to find people's phone numbers. No, but to be truthful, I have a service that I use that is hyper accurate. They cross-reference owners, previous owners, people who've rented the property out. I get people who is like a brother of a friend who rented that property. I mean, it is scary what is available on the internet these days.
Okay, well,
but no fears.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find lots of stuff that way. So, okay, well,
all right,
I'll let my wife know that something might be showing up in her inbox.
Yes, sir. Within the next couple
happens.
days. All right, perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Carl.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Okay, resume. Okay, so now one of the things that you'll notice when you're prospecting is a situation like that, right? Somebody's not wanting to sell right now, but they will in the next X period of time. And if you take
Hello, please leave a message.
If you take a couple minutes to just talk with them and discover what it is that they're trying to accomplish, many times what you'll discover is errors in their thinking. Like this fellow right here thought, oh gosh, let me spend $400 on an appraisal and I can use it for the next. That's not the way it works. So once you correct the error in their thinking, once you correct that, then it's many times very simple for you to just go ahead and close for the appointment, right? Oh, okay, well, why don't I do this or why don't I do that? Don't be afraid to offer stuff to them, especially if it's kind of a colder situation like this is. You can email that to them. Now you've got an email link to them, and you can go ahead and follow up and keep working with them over time. Because what more often than not happens is a person.
Hey, Carl.
Hi, is this Mr. Brett?
Yeah, I don't know who you are, man. What's up?
Man, you got me going. I love you already. Well, listen, my name's Carl Krenzel. I might have the wrong number, so let me spit out an apology here to you. I'm looking for the owner of a property at 2632 East Crosby Vista. I bought a property down the way from them Do you know anything about that house?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, check it out. I just bought the property, as I said, at 2639 Warwick Vista, and we're gonna have some people coming by to clean it up and make it look pretty and all that good stuff. So it's going to help kind of raise up the value of the neighborhood. So I thought I would give a call to all the neighbors and whatnot, let them know what's going to be going on, and also to see if perhaps they know of anybody else in that neighborhood who'd be open to an offer on their home. Do you know anybody else who's open to selling their home?
No.
Okay, no worries. About how long have you guys been lived there?
Can you put me in your do not call list, sir, Carl?
Oh, well, that's no problem, brother. If you're not wanting to sell your home, I have no interest in calling you ever anyway. But listen, I hope you have a great day.
Yep, you too.
Take care, bro. So don't be afraid to point out the obvious. Okay. Look, this is a hard thing for you to do sometimes when you're prospecting, is to take the slings and arrows sometimes, right? Hey, dude, could you just not put me on your call? Do not call list. Guess what? I have no interest in.
No.
Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you? Is this,
All right.
yeah. Is this Mr. Monteverde?
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have the wrong number. I was actually looking for the owners of a home over there at 2638 Keswick. Is that your property?
No, you got the wrong number.
Oh,
That's the wrong
gosh.
number.
Gosh. Do you know anything about that house at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, boy. I'm way off. Okay. I'm so sorry. Hey, since I got you anyway,
All right.
do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, I sure don't.
Okay. No problem. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day today.
All right.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. So, yeah, I don't have any interest in talking to you ever again anyway, right? I mean, you don't want to talk to me. Hey, this is Carl. How are you? Hello. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I'm sorry. I was actually looking for the owners of a home on Keswick. I just bought a property down the way. Is that your home?
No.
Oh. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you know anything about that house at all, or am I just like way off?
No, it's not the one in the house.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's a 330.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I wasn't even sure what to say on that one because their whole name was like a bunch of consonants with like one vowel. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. And I'm like, yeah. And she didn't even speak English very well. Oh boy, this is not going to work well. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to me. Okay, that's cool. Hey, bro. I mean, don't even worry about it. I don't want to talk to you either. Don't be afraid to tell somebody something like that, as long as you're polite, right? Because don't take it in your head, right? I mean, you get it in your head, then, and it makes it hard for you to call, right? I mean, you let comments swirl around in that brain of yours, and next thing you're gonna be like, oh man, I don't even want to prospect anymore. Man, look, make this fun. You have to make it fun. I mean, repetitious boredom. Mike Ferry always said repetitious boredom. You have to become in love with repetitious boredom. This is boring. Prospecting day in, day out, every day. Listen, you're listening to me on the podcast every day, and you hear what I hear, all the no's and the occasional yeses and the, yeah, maybe come back laters and the please don't ever call me. And, you hear everything I hear, but every day, here we are with a smile on our face doing it anyway. Why? Because we want to be successful.
Go ahead and leave your number and I'll get back to you.
To be successful, we know that we have to be disciplined. We have to be disciplined to prospect every single day. And discipline is a habit that you can grow. Now, I always hear people say, well, I'm not disciplined, Carl. Gosh, I just wish I had the discipline like you do. Gosh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. I wish I had the discipline. Oh boy, if I was only in the military like you were, if I was with the Marines like you were, if I had to get up in the morning like you did, I'd be disciplined. No, 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 no. No, that's not the way it works. Discipline is begun by little habits that you start, that you keep, the promises that you keep to yourself. That's why we were talking about your weight. That's the first promise you keep to yourself. How much am I going to take into my system every day, and how much am I going to exercise? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. I was looking for the Sharma residence over there on Keswick. My name's Carl. I bought a property down the street. Have I got the right place?
Yeah. How can I help you?
Oh, okay, great. Well, listen, again, my name is Carl. Like I said, real quick, I just bought the property down the street from you at 2639 Warwick Vista. I'm calling out all the neighbors, just letting them know that I bought the house. We're going to have some folks over there cleaning it up, making it pretty and all that sort of thing, raising the values. And I just thought I would call all the neighbors, introduce myself, and ask them, do you know of anybody else in this neighborhood or maybe in Tucson who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash? Do you know anybody?
No, but it all depends how much you're willing to pay.
I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you, this house needed a little bit of work, so I wasn't really willing to pay a ton for it. But I mean, if the house is in reasonably decent shape, I can certainly work a lot of things. What kind of price are you thinking for your house?
Oh, I don't know if I actually want to get rid of that one, but we do have several homes that we actually remodeled that one. We gutted it because they had like pets living there.
Oh gosh. Are you talking about that one on Keswick?
Yeah, the one on Keswick.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good little area too for investment. That's a good little area.
Yeah. No, I like it because it's, like the park is like right into our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
We opened the gate.
Oh gosh.
The park's right there.
Oh my gosh, good for you.
But yeah, I don't know. We haven't thought about it because we have investment properties ourselves that we do buy, but I can check with my husband and then maybe I'll give you a call.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. By the way, I'm curious. My name is Carl again. I'm a broker here in town, and I'm wondering, have you ever considered doing like a 1031 exchange on all those little ones and maybe buying something like a, I don't know, fourplex or something big? Have you thought about that?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the best deal thing. So check it out. I'll be very brief about it, but basically what it is, it's a tax provision in the IRS tax code. It's called 1031, right? It's IRS tax provision 1031. And basically what it says is that a person who has an investment property in town, right, you can sell that property. Okay, take all of the profit that you got from it, tax defer the profit from that, and put it into another investment property, tax deferred, and use it, within a certain period of time, and avoid the taxes for now, right? Well, not avoid, but defer the taxes for now, right? And so imagine this. Let's say you got, I don't know, 2 or 3 properties, and they're all single family residences or whatever. But you want to get, that's a lot of maintenance, right? You're controlling all that. So you sell all 3 of them, you take all the profit from all of it, and you go buy yourself like a triplex or a fourplex or whatever. So you have one place that's got all the doors, and it's a lot easier to control. And that thing grows even faster than your single family residences would. And that way, 5-10 years from now, you could do the same thing with a fourplex and buy like an apartment complex. You see what I'm saying? And this is super cool. Yeah, it's a super cool thing that many investors don't know about. I've been a broker here in town for 23 years who buys property. And let me tell you, that is the best deal the IRS has got.
And it's called what, the 1031?
Yeah, 1031 exchange, 1031 exchange. And you can Google it. It's called a 1031 exchange. And let me tell you, who does your taxes?
Oh, we have an accountant. We have several businesses.
Yeah. Okay. So,
like that,
so talk to you.
But who knows? Because we've been thinking of selling some of them and buying something closer to our residence.
That's exactly.
You said it is.
That's exactly the purpose of the 1031 exchange. Go talk to your CPA or your accountant, whoever does your stuff for your single family residences and whatnot, and say, hey, I was talking to some weirdo on the phone, some agent broker who buys houses. He bought a house in the neighborhood, says something about a 1031 exchange. Could you explain it to me? And he's going to be like, oh my God, yeah, you need to hear this. And boy, get ready, because you're going to get it. You're going to get excited.
Yeah. Well, who knows? That's what I'm like. We have so many Continental Ranch that are pretty nice houses that I'm like, oh my gosh.
You got to drive all the way.
Ever. So,
yeah, and you could.
We were thinking of,
You could buy like a.
Carl, thank you.
Yeah, you could buy like a duplex or a quad or something like that down there by the Air Force Base. And that rent that thing out all the time. So, all right. Well, listen, that's no problem. Is this your cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're on your cell phone, you'll see the caller ID there. That's my cell phone, right? And my name is Carl, Karl, and I'm a broker here at Sotheby's International Realty. So I'll why don't you just talk with your husband about it, and we'll talk a little bit later about it, and we'll see what maybe we can come up with. Fair enough.
Sounds good, Carl. Thank
awesome.
You.
And I'm sorry, my name was Carl. I never did get yours. What was it again?
Jackie.
I'm sorry. Jackie. Wonderful. All right, Jackie, thank you so much. I'll look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
All right, we'll see. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay.
Thank you for calling the Haven Behavioral Health in Tucson, Arizona.
What?
If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Oh, okay.
Regular business hours, including intake and admissions, are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you know your party's three-digit extension.
There we go. Took me a minute to delete that number. Sorry about that. So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. You need to make sure that you're aware of the market. Look, like what just happened right here? Okay, let's just think this through. What happened? Okay, here we are in a cold calling situation. This is almost like one step above a cold call, right? Just an easy, tiny little bit, right? We're calling somebody out of the blue, and we're talking about real estate. Now, listen, if she was able to Zillow, Google, ask a friend, ask a CPA, trying to think of all the different things she could do to find out about a 1031 exchange. She could that's at least 3, 4, I don't know. She has at least one CPA. She has Google, the IRS. I'm trying to think. I mean, surely she has an agent friend. I mean, everybody has an agent friend, right? So that's 4 different places, at least at 3 at the minimum, and maybe 4 different places that at the minimum, a homeowner could have got information about something that would have saved them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. She owns at least 3 properties. She was saying 2 in Continental Ranch. This one over here in Keswick, place that she lives in, is 4. That's 4 properties. So at the minimum, she owns 3 investment properties that she spoke about. If she sold all of those properties using a 1031 exchange, she could defer the taxes, get into something, as I mentioned, and make a lot more money. But Google, Zillow, Trulia, discount agents from XYZ Realty or Banana Realty or whatever Realty, all these Open Door, OfferPad, all these Google, Zillow, all these people who say they're going to automate and beat the realtors and disrupt the real estate business. Nobody is going to let that woman know about a 1031 exchange unless you go out and call. She had all those people, even her CPA, who's in a position to tell her. Didn't tell her. Why? Because he doesn't have a fiduciary responsibility to her any more than it goes to her taxes. Certainly, it would make sense that if he had access to all the properties, maybe he might say, but
hello, it's Tanner.
Oh, hi. You know what? I think I might have the wrong number. My name is Carl Krenzel. I just bought a property here in Tucson, over here on Warwick Vista. and I'm looking for the owner of a property on Crosby Vista by the name of Alicia Zepp. Do you know anything about that property?
No, I live in Phoenix.
Yeah, I noticed it was a 602, and I wasn't entirely sure. So, okay, and you said you do not know anything about that house?
No.
Gosh.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I live in Phoenix. I don't
okay. Well, I got the wrong number then. All right. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day, and please stay out of that heat. It's going to be hotter than heck up there, okay?
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother. Be easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. I suspect that nobody ever told her about a 1031 exchange because, like most Americans, they're probably doing those taxes individually. They might even have them where they're on their own LLC or something, who knows, and they're not giving
has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 520403.
They're trying to save some money, so they're not telling their accountant. Their accountant could certainly save them a lot of money if he knew. But the point that I guess I'm getting at is that nobody has told them. And this is a perfect example of why you as a realtor, if your whole mission in life is to provide information that's on the multiple listing service, things that are easily found out on Zillow or whatever, if that's your whole purpose. Hello, Miss Martinez?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Wasn't sure if my phone was acting up. My name's Carl. I was calling about your house over there on Treat Avenue. Do you still own that property, sir?
Yes, we do.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, listen, I just bought the property down the way from you at 2639 Warwick Vista. And I just wanted to give everybody a call in the neighborhood, let them know that I bought it. We're going to have some people over there kind of cleaning it up, making it pretty and all that. So it'll kind of raise the values of the neighborhood there. And I just wanted to reach out to you personally to see if perhaps you knew of anybody who had an unwanted home that I could buy for cash. Do you know of anybody, sir?
No, not at this time.
Okay, no worries. It's kind of a crazy question out of the blue anyway. So I'm curious, have you folks thought about selling your property at all?
Yeah, I want $300 for it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you might have a little bit of a challenge that where you live, but hey, everybody has a goal. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, boom. You know, his house is worth 180 perhaps, maybe, on a good day. I love it when people decide to get snarky with me because they act as if I've never heard something like that before. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, oh my gosh, this is a brain teaser for me, right? So, so getting back very quickly to this issue, analysis, right? Analysis is what you're paid for. Is what? Hello, friends. Your interpretation of the market, what's available, what could be done, the situation, that's what your value is, right? Your negotiation, your third-party negotiation skills, that's where your value is. It's not in the MLS. It's not in how many bedrooms or baths. No. It's all in those moments right there. And I'm sorry to drop the phone, ding the mic. Sorry about that. I'm very glad that you were able to hear that, because that's a perfect example of where you can fit in, right? So the second issue, just very quickly about this issue about weight, and one final thing before we'll move on. It's very difficult if you're overweight to keep up the schedule, to keep up the pace, to keep month after month. And so it's not only is it difficult, but it shows, I think, an initial lack of discipline, right? If you're undisciplined in your food and in your weight, in your exercise, your nutrition, if you're not disciplined in that area for your own body, I don't see how you can really say you're overly.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Who's this?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Carl. I just bought a property. Yeah, I just bought a property down the street from y'all. Do you own that property still at 2539 Winchester Vista?
No.
Oh, perfect.
I've never owned that property.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you've never owned that property?
No.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I guess I got the wrong number then. I apologize. Okay. Well, listen, since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home I could buy for cash? Take that as a no. Let's see here. Boom. 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 So I don't see how you can say you're disciplined in other things. In your prospecting, disciplined in your role play, disciplined with your money, disciplined with your time. If you can't manage disciplining your weight, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to have the discipline it takes to be successful in the other areas of your life, if that makes sense. The second thing that you need to have to be successful, second thing you need to do is you have to control your emotions. Boy. Now, as I said, that first one was a little hard.
The number 520325.
That first one was a little hard. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you're overweight and you just heard me go on a half hour, 45-minute diatribe about weight, that's not a lot of fun. I get it. Let me apply some salve to that. Let me try and make that feel a little better. Right? Let's talk about, instead of people who aren't controlling their weight, let's talk about people who aren't controlling their emotions. If you're not controlling your emotions, this is extremely difficult for me. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of guy who tends to lose his temper sometimes.
Hello. Please leave a
Right?
message.
It's been difficult for me over the years, sometimes, to maintain my temper and maintain my cool. I'll be honest. That's probably one of the areas where I struggle the most. And it's not just anger, right? It's not just struggling with your emotions, dealing with anger, is dealing with your own struggle with emotions of inadequacy. You're not good enough. You feel like everybody's got it except you. Everybody knows what to do except you. Sometimes the emotions can be crushing in this business. One moment you're on the top of the world because you got a couple deals going and everything's great. And the next minute, life's horrible. And the reason why is because something ridiculous happened in a deal and somebody called you and now you got this emotional thing in your head and now it's not closing and you spent the money before you got it. And now what do you do? Controlling your emotion is a very difficult thing to do. Mike Ferry used to teach me, you want to keep your emotions between the lines, right? Never too low, never too high, between the lines. And keep those lines thin, right? Some people, agents, we have these wide, bands of acceptable conduct. We tend to accept wide ranges and swings of emotion in the real estate business that would never be tolerated in a real business. If you've gone into a real business and you acted the way you act, they'd fire you. But because he's the top producer and he's the one who makes the money for the firm and he's the one who's got the corner office, well, you're going to tolerate whatever shenanigans he pulls. No matter how many times he shows up drunk, no matter how many times he pisses off the client. The reality is, if you can't control your emotions in this business, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to be successful, because this is a business that requires people to be stable. Yeah, it requires you to be stable. And you may not be thinking that, this is something that requires stability, but look, your customers, if you're an investor, if you're a realtor who invests, a wholesaler, whatever your position in the real estate game is, if you think that this selling of a home is not an emotional issue with them, you got another thing coming. This is chock full of emotions, and it's never rational reasons. It's always these absurd, well, my son and I, we own the property, and there's 6 heirs and heirs, and we need to have a certain amount per heir, and we figure the home's worth X, and so because each person wants $30,000 and there's 6 of us, so we want the home's worth $180,000. What? I mean, sometimes you just want to pull your hair out because it makes no sense. Some of the things you hear. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you've been listening to this podcast for the last few podcasts where I've been recording these prospecting sessions for you, you've probably heard some of the dumbest stuff. I mean, I say it, they say it, people say dumb things. It's just life. It's just called life. But what happens then is we get our emotions tied up in it. And God, this is an emotional society. This society is beyond emotional. You can't turn on a social media page without seeing the latest outrage. You can't turn on the latest news without hearing about some terrible event, someplace that you have no control over. You turn on, you open the paper, and it's this or it's that. Look, you flip on the news. You turn on the... Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
¿Quién habla?
Mi nombre es Carl Krenzel. Is this Alicia?
¿Y qué?
Oh, mi nombre es Carl Krenzel de Sotheby's Realty. Estoy llamando para saber si usted está interesado en vender su casa.
No estoy.
Oh, okay, gracias. Bye-bye. So, if it's happening to you, hi, Mary.
Please leave your message for 5.
If it's happening to you, then you can bet that it's happening to everybody else. You look around you, it's almost as if it's being programmed. It's almost as if it's being programmed to be this way. How do you combat the rampant emotion, the wild swings, the out of control?
You have reached the voicemail box of
feelings. The out of control feelings of clients and customers and people around you, the brokers you work with, the agents that are in your office, the clients you have, their family members, the people you're calling, the people you're trying to prospect to in your town. How do you overcome the emotion and feeling that is so rampant in this business and in this life, in this society we're in today, that we're suffering from? How do you overcome it? You have to become an island of peace, unchanged, unmoved, stable.
Hello?
Hi, Melba?
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Carl Krenzel. I was looking for Melva Lundy. Have I got the right place?
You have the wrong number, sorry.
Oh my gosh. Do you know anything about that house at 1517 South Tucson Boulevard?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm actually trying to reach the owners of that property. I just bought a home down the street from them, actually. Do you know anything about that house or the owners?
Yeah? Who is this again?
Oh, yeah, no problem. My name is Carl. Carl Krenzel. I probably didn't speak up in the beginning. I've just bought a home at 2639 East Warwick Vista. And I just want to call and reach out to all the neighbors in the area. Just let them know that we're going to be having some people down there fixing it up. And everything okay? What's that?
I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a little one. You take care of the baby. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah, because I really don't want to hear the baby myself.
The person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up.
God bless you. I love you. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to hear baby either. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So you're trying to be an Isle of Peace in this game. I mean, your clients, your customers, they're everywhere in the market right now, and they're hearing everything. They don't know what to believe. The market's fast, the market's slow, the market's good, the market's crashing, the thing's in a bubble, the thing's not, all these things that they hear about the market. And then they go on Facebook and they go on the news, and that's the whole problem. I think many times with all of us is we have a suffering from this information deluge. Back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, you didn't hear about stuff for a few days. It's not like it happened right away. You heard about it the next day. It took time. But now, bless God, it comes to you every moment of every day. It's nonstop. Ding, 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 ding. Go the notifications on your phone. You look up, it's Twitter. Somebody said something stupid. Oh my God, he said what? Holy cow. You look on Facebook, and then, it's your best friend or a friend or somebody, a friend of a friend, and you made a post and they're saying X, Y, Z. And you're like, oh my gosh, what the? And then you're involved in that. And then you got all these things going on. Same thing goes on with your clients. And then you call them up. Hey, the home's not selling. We need to do a price reduction. And what? And they give you all this drama, and now you've taken that. So not only are you going through your phone with all the drama and the politics and all the other things you see, but now you're getting it from your clients. And if you're any good at this game and you've taken, a bunch of listings and let's say they're not selling, you tried to get them to price it right. You've talked to them, but bless God, they don't listen to you. Now you got stress because every week you're calling your clients, customers, letting them know what's going on, and they're not listening anyway. Because now it's that kind of toxic relationship. And when they get an offer, it becomes even worse. Now you've got money on the table that, you're thinking, well, gosh, if I close this deal, I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to be able to spend it on blah, 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 blah. So you got your feelings involved. They're thinking about, well, gosh, if it does this and we're going to move, we're going to have these costs, and everybody's emotions are involved. It's so easy. If you don't control your emotions, for your emotions to control you, and if your emotions control you, guess what? You lose every time. You can't help yourself. You can't even help yourself. You're stuck. It's like you're trying to climb a wall. Your goal is at the top, and you are at the bottom. You're trying to reach up to your goal to get there, but you can't because your legs are broken. You can't even stand on your own. Your goals are at the top, calling down to you. Hey, here's the money you want to make. Hey, I'm right here. Hey, I'm right here. And you can't even reach up to get it. Why? Because you can't control your emotion. It's like having broken legs. Every time you try to do something, it hurts. It fails. If you want to be strong, if you want to be successful, you must control your emotions. You cannot allow yourself to violently or explosively go out and say things or lose your temper, or you can't do it. I did it for years. Ask anybody in my marketplace. They will swear to you and tell you. They will attest to the fact of my temper.
The number 520.
It took me years to learn that that's not going to help me get what I want. It's not going to help my clients get what they want. Really what it is just blustering. It's fear. It's fear of loss. When you start getting angry and yelling at other people because the deal isn't closing, many times it's because you are afraid that the deal isn't going to close and you're going to lose money. And you got to go prospect again. You got to lead generate again. If you had a lot of deals that are under contract, if you had 10 properties under contract, would you really care if one of them was delayed? No, you wouldn't care at all. You'd be like, oh, one of them's delayed? Who cares? Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. I got 9 other ones that are closing on time. Okay. You don't even think about it. But because we fail to prospect, we fail to do the things we need to do, we fail to exercise the discipline, we don't even control our emotions. And we lose our temper at our contracts, our people, at our clients, at our customers, at our brokers, at our friends, our family members. And ultimately, we lose. The tongue is a fire, is a flame. It's a ship. It's a rudder on a ship. Who can control it? You have to control your emotions. The third thing that you need to control in order for you to be successful, regardless of what you're choosing to do, you have to control your environment. And this is a critical skill, right? This is not easy. For many of us, controlling your environment looks something like this. You get up in the morning, take a shower, you go to your job, go to your work, wherever your office, wherever you go, right? And the things that happen to you from point A to point B, from the moment you wake up to the second you pick up the phone, and all the moments in between that, are your environment that you create around yourself for generating leads. If you're in an environment where you go to an office and it's uncluttered and unkempt and there's trash everywhere, you're not going to be in the right mindset. If you're constantly interrupted, if you feel like you're being listened to and judged and critiqued for every little thing you do, it's hard for you to feel like you can give your best. It's difficult for you to perform at your highest level possible if you feel like everybody is critiquing you. Think about it when you were a kid, right? Maybe you were blessed enough to have parents. Maybe you were blessed enough to have 2 parents who hounded you about your grades. Or maybe that one parent, I don't know.
0, 6, 6, 8,
maybe
5,
you
4,
had that
9.
That person in your life who gave you direction and hounded you to succeed. And you didn't enjoy it because they're always in your case. They're always in your back. They're always, man, do this, do that. And you're like, man, I get tired of this accountability. But because of that accountability, it caused you to grow. You take away that accountability, and what happens? Maybe you're not as productive as you used to be. Maybe you're not paying attention. Maybe you're not working as hard. Maybe you're a little bit more complacent than you used to be. It's a lot like a tree. When you've got a tree that's growing out in your yard and it's a younger tree and it's growing in an errant way, you take a stick and you tie the tree to the stick so it knows which way to grow, because that stick is immovable. The stick is solid. The tree will adhere and grow straight because of the strength.
Please leave your message for...
Because of the strength of the standard. If the standard that you wanted to set for that tree was straight and up and down, then the standard you would use would be a pole or a wooden beam or whatever, and you would tie it to it. And it would be the standard. It would adhere itself to that standard. If you didn't care which way it grow, or you wanted it to grow a particular way, maybe you wouldn't use something as rigid as that standard. Maybe you use wire, like the Japanese trees, whatever those little trees are called. I love them. I just can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up.
But you know, just as well as I do, you could take those little trees and you could make them look like grown-up full trees by using wire and trim and trimming them up a little bit and using that wire to grow the branch you want it the way you want it to grow. But what causes
The party is currently unavailable.
What causes somebody to go to college? What causes somebody to do good in school? What causes somebody to go into the military when they're younger, as a younger adult? What causes a person to or a tree to grow a certain way? Well, it's your environment. Seems pretty clear to me. If you grew up around a bunch of all your family members went to college, you're going to think you got to go to college. If you grew up around people who got married young, you're going to think you need to get married young. You grew up around people who all went in the military instead of going to college, you're probably going to go in the military. It's the environment you're in. So if you want to be successful, if we can look at your beginning of life.
Hello, you reached about Samson. I'm sorry I'm not able to take your call right now. Please leave a message.
If we can look at the beginning of your life, or the beginning of a tree, or your school, or your military or college experience, various periods of time in your previous life behind you, there were periods of time where you had a structured environment. Maybe it was a job. You had to come in at a particular time. You had to perform tasks a certain way. You had to XYZ. Because if you didn't do XYZ, you'd get fired. You know, it's funny. I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody.
You've reached Kelly. I'm unable to come to the phone right now.
So if I'm talking to you, please don't take this personally.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Let me tell you something about what I learned when I was coming up in the business. I didn't want to prospect. I didn't want to call people. So I tried everything. I think I mentioned it before. I had like little benches you put your baby's butt in. I had that. I had mailers. I had flyers. I mean, I tried everything. I had TV commercials, radio, things like that, right? And every time I would spend all that money on something I felt would be appropriate, would be a good way to get business, it turned out to be dust in my mouth. It never really worked out. Just didn't pan out. It never was enough leads. It was never a good enough lead. I couldn't convert the lead. It was.
Hi, I'm sorry I can't get to the phone.
It was always it was always a waste of time. And I ultimately would either run out of money and I would have to go get a job. I remember I was a bouncer at a club. I was a newspaper boy. I was a pizza boy. I can't even think of all the side jobs I had done when I was coming up in the game because I didn't know how to generate leads well. I didn't know how to convert and prospect and present. And the concept of telephone prospecting to me was abhorrent. Never in my wildest dreams would I imagine 23 years later would I be on YouTube publicly calling people. As an interesting side note, much less making podcasts and talking about it. Never imagined in my wildest dreams that this is what I would do, because to me, telephone prospecting was abhorrent. It was archaic. It was something to be avoided. I mean, obviously the do not call list had recently passed. I mean, this is just not a good thing to do. But every single time I avoided the phone, I ended up getting a job. Every time. Every single time. And then when I got tired of working at my job, I would come back and I'd do the things I knew I'd have to do. I'd pick up the phone and I'd start calling. And what do you know? I'd get an expired. That would sell. And I'd be right back to where I was. You know, like like a dog returns to its vomit, right? I mean, I'd be right there again doing deals or two, and then I'd go out and try to buy business and do mailings. I'd run out of business. I'd go get a job, and then I'd come to my senses. I'd go back out, and I'd pick up the phone, and I'd do it again.
Hi, you've reached Kelly Q, LLC. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, Callie, Carl Krenzel. I was calling about your house on Glen. I want to give you some money for it if you're interested in selling it. Give me a call, 520-403-6227. Thank you. So anyway, as I was saying, every time it was like a dog to the vomit. I would just return. And what I ultimately learned was, why don't I just stop fighting? Why don't I just stop fighting it? Why don't I just embrace the call, embrace the suck, right? You know, so many people I know who hate telephone prospecting, ultimately, you know, it's very difficult for them to make money in the business. They get out of the business and they end up getting jobs that ultimately require them to do things that they don't want to do. You didn't want to prospect because you thought, as I did, that it was archaic, that it was abhorrent, that it was this, that it was that, and it's just not a good form of lead generation. And yet, where are you now? Again, I'm not speaking to anybody in specific, but I'm speaking to a person's on the podcast and in YouTube world who are listening to this, who found myself like I did in a job, you know, like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to get my family taken care of here. I gotta get things done. It's a call for you to come to your senses. Are you enjoying what you're doing now? Is that significantly more enjoyable than picking up a telephone and calling strangers? Is mopping the floor, cleaning the toilet? Hello?
Please leave your message for.
I mean, whatever it is that you're doing as another job, is that really more enjoyable? Maybe it isn't. But it comes back to that environment issue. Because if you're going to have to do something you don't like, well, then you might as well make your situation where you can at least enjoy it.
I'm not in, but if you leave your name and a number and a message,
I mean, maybe, just maybe, I might be wrong, maybe prospecting is actually a decent way to make business, because you can control it, because you can call people, because you manage to talk to who you want to and get the customers you want. Trust me, this is not the only prospecting I'm doing. I mean, you see me here day after day doing this kind of prospecting, but this is not the only prospecting I'm doing. In the afternoon, obviously, I'm doing some other prospecting. But when you think about it, your environment.
Please leave your message for 520.
Your environment goes a long way to controlling your success. And if your environment is not helping you, then it's hindering you. That's the way life works. It's either people are helping you or they're hindering you. And if they're helping you, well, then great. You know, mature those relationships, work on those, feed those relationships, make them work, strengthen them. But if you've got relationships and situations and places and people and things that are not supporting you, that are not helpful to you, that are not going to cause you to grow, that are not going to cause you to learn, flee from those things. Flee from them. It's simple. Flee from them. Run. Flee. I love flee, because flee is better than run. Flee intones running for your life. You know, the volcano is erupting on the island. Let's just run away. No, let's flee away. Let's flee to the sea. Let's get the heck out of here, right? We want to get going. And that's what you need to do about your environment if it's not supporting you. You need to flee from that because it will destroy your business. It will destroy your success. How can you be successful? How? Tell me. Look, I'll be the first to admit to you that I am very stupid. Okay, I'm not educated, but I've been around and I'm stubborn and I learn things by just, repetitious and having people explain things to me. So I am open to coaching in this arena. I'm not one to say that I know it all, but if you think that I'm wrong in this issue, please tell me. Tell me how you feel being in a negative, nasty, backbiting environment can help you in your career. I'm open to it. Tell me how that's going to help.
Been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
If you've got somebody in your office that's sitting there, negative Nelly doesn't, every time you are in the office with this person, it's like you got to walk around eggshells. If you're around a person like that or a situation like that, it's difficult for you to maintain a positive attitude and because you're always kind of like, right? And if you're feeling this, how many times have you had that situation where you've got a dog and you're out there walking your dog and the dog can feel your stress through the leash? That ever happened to you? I mean,
Hello, no one is available.
If you're a dog owner, this is an actual truth. If you ever took your dog to obedience training or anything like that, the first thing they tell you is to relax because your dog feels the stress that you experience through the leash. I don't know how. I'm not a scientist. That's just what happens. And don't tell me that it doesn't happen to you in your work environment when you have that poisonous person in your midst. That person who's negative, that person who's always seeing the dark side of things or complaining or critiquing you all the time. You feel it. You feel it in your spirit. You're sensitive enough. I mean, look, let's just be honest. No, maybe 100 people listen to this podcast. Maybe. So between you and the 98 rest of you and me, I think we can all be honest. Okay? If you feel that in your workplace from somebody else, then chances are you're going to carry that with you to your appointments and to the prospects and the clients and the customers you're going to meet. If you want to be successful, you must learn to control your environment. And what I mean by that is simply this, that you can't allow anybody or anything to disrupt your mindset, because your mindset is critically important to this. Your mindset is dictated many times by the environment that's around you. If you're in an environment that is unsupportive, unkempt, unclean, it's dirty or whatever, you walk in, it's difficult for you to feel powerful and productive and helpful and positive. It's difficult for you to feel that way. Hard. But if you come into an environment where everybody's positive and they're upbeat and they're ready to get things going and they're happy and they're, all trying to work together towards a common goal, well, gosh, that's a great environment to be in. And it's easier for you to become that island of peace for your clients who need that from you. Your clients, your customers, the ones on that phone, the ones listening to all the trash every day, the ones that have all the problems every day. They come to you with their problems. Okay? And if you come back at them with your problems and your complaints and your blah, 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 your issues and all that, okay, well, then guess what? You're going to have fewer transactions that close. You're going to have fewer deals that work, and you're going to have a lot more pressure. Nobody wants that. You want less pressure. You want less problems. You want more money. Control your environment. Become an island of peace for your troubled clients. And that means that you have to take active steps for you to go ahead and ensure that you are not subjugated to people or things or situations that will cause you to ruin your mindset through the environment. So guys, we've been prospecting for about 2 hours here. The 3 things that you need to be successful, again, you have to control your weight. Got to control your weight so you can maintain that good attitude, maintain that energy that's going to take you throughout the day. Watch what you eat. I'm not saying that you got to, go on a starvation diet or fast for 40 days or any of that stuff. No, I'm just saying eat more fruit, drink more water, eat more vegetables, right? Exercise more, get up half hour early, go take your dog for a walk. Take the time to take care of yourself so you can build the discipline, right? Yeah, you're going to lose weight. Yeah, you're going to feel better. Yeah, you're going to look better. But that's not why you're doing this. You're doing this so you can develop discipline. If you say to me, Carl, I want to develop discipline in my life. I'm not as disciplined as you. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, you want to develop discipline? Step number 1, get up in the morning, take a walk, and drink water. Have a banana, go take a walk. Stop eating every damn thing in the house and expecting that you're going to go in there and prospect with power. If you go in there, you had bacon and eggs, and you got, a big old biscuit and gravy, and you got a big thing of hash browns, and, you're full. How are you going to get in there and prospect with power first thing in the morning? You're going to be like, oh, God, my stomach's killing me. That's not going to happen. Control your weight. Second thing you need to do, control your emotions, especially these days. God help us all these days. These days, people are so emotional, and they're counting on you to keep you cool, right? You've got to be able to go ahead and make sure that you control the emotions you have as far as anger, as far as excitement. Remember, you want to keep them between the lines, keep those lines thin. And finally, control your environment. Control that environment, right? Make sure you work in a situation with people who are supportive of you. If you're a wholesaler and an investor, you're not a realtor, I understand. Sometimes it's very difficult to work by yourself. I get it. It's not easy. May I recommend you start up an investor group? Yeah, your local ARIA and Real Estate Investors Association. Yeah, okay, you can go to that. But you and I both know that those are just opportunities for them to sell you junk. Why don't you instead get 4 or 5 like-minded investors in your neighborhood and form a mastermind group? Meet with them once a month, once every 2 weeks, whatever it is, so that you guys can share experiences, share help, ideas. You guys can improve each other. You guys can sharpen each other like iron sharpeneth iron. You guys are going to be able to go ahead and create for yourselves a mastermind that will help you succeed, because your environment is what you need. A supportive environment that will help. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to me prospect today. We'll go ahead and put this on the podcast, as I mentioned, at theredpillinvestor.com. If you have an opportunity, I would love to go ahead and see you join us there. Perry Perkins, thank you so much for joining us. He said, I struggle with that more than I care to admit. Gosh, that is so true. We have all these problems. Guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.